Hey guys, Chris with Raise Ready, and today I want to talk to you about something you've probably been experiencing on your search for knowledge surrounding marketing for syndications. And that is, you're probably finding little pieces to the puzzle here and there, but they lack the depth you need, meaning they don't take you from A to Z. They don't answer all of your questions, right? And you're probably finding these little pieces through blogs, articles, videos on YouTube, things like that. And I want to commend you on going out there and looking for this information. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to touch on some of the pieces you've probably been looking for. And if you haven't, this will help you along your search. And then I'm going to talk about a list of ideas from terrible to awesome on how to approach these ideas. All right. So let's jump into this. So you may be looking for the best way to structure your website. And let's say you went to somewhere like cardonecapital.com and you're telling yourself, oh, well, this, if it's good enough for Grant, this is how I'm going to structure my site. But here's the thing. Since the time I've been in this game, Grant has updated and iterated on his site 4 or 5 times. And something to consider is that what got him to his stage of success right now might not be appropriate for the stage that you're at. So you might be modeling the wrong thing, right? It might be more appropriate to have something that's sharper, just drives people to one single action rather than giving them a plethora of options for them to get lost on. CRM, right? Someone might approach you and say, hey, you need a CRM to plug in your contacts and send them some emails. And that's it. No, there is so much more that goes into this, right? There's automations and flows. You need to find pipelines so you can keep track of where investors are at on a given raise, things like that. Okay. So there's plenty of CRMs out there that people are probably recommending to you. Which one is the right one? How long should you make your sequences? How should you track people's engagement? Things like this are important questions to be asking yourself. And if you don't have the full picture, you can wind up just kind of slogging along, getting a system built out rather than just having it set up, ready to go so you can hit the ground running. Decks and presentations. Everybody knows you need a deck. You need some sharp presentations, right? Whether that's your lead magnet or a deal that you're presenting. And there are questions you should be asking yourself on how to approach this, right? How do you make a deck in the most optimized way possible? If you make it yourself, is it going to be too short? Is it going to be too long? What information do we put up front, right? These are questions you should be asking yourself. But if you had a team that has had experience building these, you might just find that you have an optimized deck that's engaging, right? Something that doesn't put people to sleep when they see it. They're falling asleep behind their screen. We don't want that, right? We want some eye candy, something that's a visual treat as well as informative. Running ads online. Okay, you might have looked into the world of ads. It's a whole different skill set. If you're an operator and you're looking at running ads online, okay, just be prepared to take on a whole new career. Okay, it's going to be pretty in depth, and these policies are changing. It feels like every other day, right? And there are plenty of different ad platforms, right? You got Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, things like Taboola, stuff like that. There's just so many. So where do you start? Which one is the best platform to start with? Which one should you stay away from, right? These are questions that you need to ask yourself as well. And getting them answered quickly is important for your marketing budget, right? How much are you going to spend on each platform? Should you focus on one? Should you focus on multiple? Right? Very important questions to be asking yourself. Okay, let's dive into a hypothetical here. Let's pretend you had all the knowledge on all the things I just mentioned, right? The website, CRM, decks, and ads. You have uploaded the knowledge through your Neuralink and you're suddenly an expert. Now, what is the next step? What are your options? I'm going to list these options from terrible to awesome. Okay, so let's dive into it. Option number 1 is to do it all yourself. Okay, don't do this. This is the most terrible idea. Why? Because you're an operator and your time is best spent doing operator things. That looks like looking for deal flow, right? So you're underwriting deals, you're sending out LOIs, and you're cultivating and maintaining relationships. It's probably the best and highest use of your time. So do not try to manage all these pieces yourself. And listen, I struggle with this too. I still, to this day, feel like I need to go get stuff done fast. So I better do it with my own 2 hands. But it's better to have a team around you that can help you get it done right. So you don't actually waste more time doubling back, fixing things and sharpening things up instead of just having it right the first time around. Number 2 is hire a disconnected team. Now, what this looks like is each of the pieces I mentioned, you have a team for each of those, right? You have a team for the website, you have a team for the CRM, you have a team for your decks and presentations, and you have a team for your app, okay? Now, the struggle with this is you're trying to corral all of them, put them in Slack, and then pray that they're all on the same page. Or maybe you even have a task management software and you're trying to coordinate them that way. But here's the problem with that. Having different teams means they might be in different time zones. They might be hard to coordinate. And when you want to get something done fast and efficiently, you're trying to get 2 different teams to communicate, and they might be not on the same wavelength, so to speak, right? And so this is not impossible. It's not the most terrible idea, like number 1, but it's still not the most efficient approach. And we're going to touch on the most efficient approach in just a second. And here we are at the best idea, the most efficient approach, which is to hire one experienced team to manage all the pieces that I just mentioned. Now, what are the benefits of that? Why is that the best approach? It's because you're needing to connect with one person, one team, instead of trying to corral all these people, and they don't see the full picture as a disconnected team. So having one team, they know what's going on. They know what objective is trying to be completed, and they are always working towards that goal and using all the tools to synchronize towards that specific aim. So this helps also with communication, right? You're not trying to grab someone from the Philippines and then this person over here and that person over there. It becomes difficult to manage over time, especially as you start to scale. So have one team in place that you can count on to tackle these projects. Again, option number 2, not impossible, but option number 3, way more efficient. And one of the last pieces that I want to touch on here is education versus execution. Now, in full transparency, I'm trying to educate you, and you're going to see a lot more videos coming from me, during my time here. But the people that you're looking to educate you, are they willing to get their hands dirty to build the system out from A to Z? Are they specifically geared towards syndications and knowing what it takes to raise capital and build trust quickly with accredited investors, how to qualify them, and how to get them into the funnel? So that's insanely important. Having a disconnected team is not as efficient as someone who knows exactly what the goal is and not having to onboard all the separate teams and tell them, like, hey, this is the goal, guys. Everybody gather around. Rather, it's like someone stepping in that already knows what needs to happen, right? So again, full transparency, I am trying to educate you, but I am also willing to get my hands dirty to build the system out. And I think that's something that separates us from a lot of the people that you might be hearing from out there. So I'll wrap with this. You're going to keep getting education from me, so keep tuning into the videos. But if it's something that you're ready to get implemented into your business sooner rather than later, then consider booking a call with us so we can actually discuss this further. I think that's the next best step, because look, if you're sitting around on the sidelines the whole time, this whole thing might pass you by. You might be thinking of the best approach, dipping your toe, but when you talk to us, we're talking about a full-on plunge, jumping into this thing, building out the system so you can hit the ground running. If that's something that interests you, go ahead and book that call now, and I'll talk to you soon. I hope this has been helpful. I'll see you soon. Take care.